I've been doing this for a while now, and a couple years back I made some predictions about what would happen with Wii U prices. Did my predictions come true? I revisit it today, and I also add in what game I probably should have told you. So, I am the Game Collector, and this is Second Opinion Games, and today we look at Wii U prices, and how they're skyrocketing. Through the roof! Buy them now, before it's too late!
Second Opinion Games.
Coming in at number 10, I talked about the Steam World Collection. It actually got a physical release on the Wii U, unlike everywhere else where it was just digital. We have Steam World Heist, where it's a turn-based RPG style where you run in guns a-blazing and blow stuff up. And we have Steam World Dig, which is like a mining simulator. You mine things to get more money to be able to build more mines. I said I bought my copy for about $12 and predicted it would go to $30, but guess what, guys? It went to $60 stinking dollars. So I was dead on with this one, if not like a lot more. But maybe I should have been talking about Rapala bass fishing, because I just didn't know that it even existed. I had no idea how much it cost back in the day, and I've never seen it in the wild ever. And in this bass fishing game, you could drive around and fish. It's like the most intense fishing simulator ever made. You really have to know your fish here. You have to be able to pick your lure out. You have to know what levels the fish are at. You have to know how to use a fish finder. And it's definitely not for the people that are just casually into fishing. If you did happen to pick it up for Lord knows how much, today it's selling from $80 to $100 and ends up being one of the rarest games on Wii U. At number 9, Redeo Sky Soldier. This was a 2-disc special for the Wii U. The first disc had a full-fledged Wii game, which is what I'm playing here, because I heard it plays better on the Wii than the Wii U. Well, sad to say, it doesn't play very good on either one. It is rather unique in having both discs in one package, and I bought it for $15. I thought it might shoot up to $40, however, it just doubled in price to $30. So you may have made a couple of bucks on this one, but you know what, no loss if you never really picked it up. But maybe I should have talked about Mario and Sonic at the Sochi Olympic Games 2014. Of course I knew that the Switch was going to be cannibalizing heavy amounts of the Wii U library, and I definitely should have predicted that none of the Mario and Sonic Olympic games would ever be cannibalized, and this was the first time they were in this same game, so of course it was going to go up in price. At the time it was like $30 when I picked up my copy, and now it's selling for over $100 for just a couple collections of minigames that was done better on other Wii U titles. However, we do have hockey here, which is darn fun to play, but it is a little bit basic. At number 8, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. This is a 3D puzzle game where Toad runs around, cannot jump at all, and has to use his environment in order to collect stars. Now, it plays really good, and the graphics here are beautiful. I honestly thought that this was going to be one of those games that just skyrocketed through the roof, but the Switch snagged another one from us. Even though they're not exactly the same games, there are some subtle differences between the two. A lot of people decide to not bother picking up the Wii U version, and that's why this one didn't do so good. I bought it for $30. I predicted it would go to $40. Instead, it price dropped down to $25. No, what I actually probably should have told you about was Game & Wario, which I picked up for $30, and this remains a top tier exclusive to the Wii U. You have different Wario mini games, just like the Olympic game one, only this time done a lot better. And man, it's even fun to play as a party or by yourself, which is what I'm doing today. So these games are actually really cool, and probably some of my first times playing it because I always play with a party. Now it sells for over $100 stinking dollars. This one completely blew me away, and I love it every time I put it in. At number 7, we have STARFox Zero, and it also came with a copy of STARFox GUARD, which is a far more interesting game, which is what I am showing you right now, because I really don't care to play STARFox Zero at all. I knew this would definitely stay on the Wii U, both games, and the Switch would never actually steal it, so I figured that both these would just keep on climbing in value. Nowadays, you know what, STARFox Zero can be found for next to nothing, and you actually see people selling STARFox GUARD by itself for more than the double pack itself, which is completely ridiculous. Maybe they didn't know it was a pack-in title. I have no stinking idea. Now, I bought my copy absolutely brand new in a sealed box for a Nintendo game that sounds crazy for $20. I thought it might go up to $80. Instead, it's just selling for about $25. What I should have told you about was Axiom Verge. I bought this for $60, and it was a special limited edition release, and it's like a Metroid game. As a matter of fact, it's almost exactly like Metroid, only more focused on the different guns that you could pick up and upgrade. Nowadays, it sells for $160 plus. Man, did that ever skyrocket through the roof. Of course, it is a great game, and you can still download it for like $20 or less from the Wii U eShop, so if you missed out, well then pick it up. Or pick it up on the Switch for also a lot cheaper. It plays about the same on both systems. At number 6, we have the Giana Sisters. Nintendo had a long past with the Giana Sisters because at the time it was sort of a ripoff of Mario Brothers. However, they were really wrong, and you can play the old version of Giana Sisters if you happen to have a Game Boy DS and a copy of Giana Sisters for that. And I do, and I played through the whole game. It's nothing like Mario. Nintendo is completely in the wrong, as they often are, and they shut down a great game from the world to experience. But I'm talking about the Wii U, and here we have one of the lowest print runs of any Wii U game. So I thought this one might skyrocket, especially because the quality here is through the roof amazing. It's an action puzzle platformer game where you have to shift between two worlds, and each of the girls have their own different power-ups. I bought it for $15. I thought it might head to $70 because of how rare it is, but no, you can still buy it for about $15. Maybe what I should have told you about was Cabela's Pro Hunts. It's a hunting simulator where you just walk around in the woods, and about 3 times an hour you can shoot an animal in the face or heart or lungs, and then you have to trek through the woods until you find their carcass and harvest it. And I had no idea about this one. I thought it was a myth, honestly, and I've never seen it out in the wild ever. And now it sells for over $100. I think I bought my copy for $125, but that might have been at the top end of it. Maybe we'll start seeing them coming down a little bit, but if you actually see it for under $100, definitely pick it up. It's much more fun than I actually thought it was going to be. And number 5, Breath of the Wild. Now, I thought this would have went up in price because the GameCube version of Twilight Princess really skyrocketed and was forgotten about until later people went back and played it. Now, this was originally developed for the Wii U, and I think it plays a little bit better there, but it really depends on who's playing. Overall, they're almost exactly the same game. I bought my copy for $70. I thought it might skyrocket up to $200. However, you could find it for just $70 still. There is some versions of the game specially packaged and boxed that did really climb in value. So if you happen to have some of those, well, then you're a lucky one. I probably should have told you about Turbo Super Stunt Squad. Not because it's a very good game. It's sort of like Tony Hawk with snails. And rather than having a racing game, which was the whole point of the movie or any of the voice actors, they decided to throw all of that out the window and went with this. The graphics are okay, the sound effects are downright awful, and it was a $60 game at launch. However, now it sells for $175 for who knows why. It definitely did not sell very well, and it was definitely in the bargain bin really quick. That's just too much to pay for this piece of crap. Number 4, Bayonetta 2. This was a multi-disc game, also with Bayonetta 1. So if you never experienced it, this is the place to do it. It's an action beat 'em up with visuals that are clearly amazing. kooky characters, and some of the craziest enemy design I have ever seen in a game. I picked my copy up for $20. I thought it might skyrocket up to $80 because at one point in time, that's what they were selling to before the crash all the way down to $20. It only went to $40 now, and it's still a definite deal to buy at that price, so I could strongly recommend it. Know what I probably should have told you about was Hyrule Warriors. This is a just beat 'em up action thing with the characters from Zelda. I really like playing as Tingle here because he's just funny and creepy, and I really absolutely adore him. Now, if you bought one of those special collector's editions for $120 or more, well, and now you could probably sell it for over $500, sometimes up to $1,500, depending on how great the condition is, which is ridiculous for a game that people don't actually want to play that much, or they rather play better versions on the Nintendo Switch. Number 3, Shantae Half-Genie Hero. This had a special collector's package with some music, and it was just really well laid out. On top of it, the downloadable content for Shantae Half-Genie Hero is simply on point. I'm playing the Mighty Switch Force version because I can't get enough of Mighty Switch Force, and playing it with Shantae is amazeballs. Now, I picked my copy up for $30. I thought it would go to $100 because I really love the game, and every game made by WayForward, I make it a point to pick up every physical WayForward game I can the second I see it because they almost always go up in value. However, it only went up to $80, so I was pretty right on in picking my copy up. But maybe I should have picked up instead Zelda Twilight Princess or the Wind Waker, because both of them were about $60 at launch and now sell for over $200 because this is the best place to play them on the Wii U, at least until it's remade for the Switch later this year, which then I predict the prices might go down quite a bit, or could go up even more because of all the hype around Zelda and people wanting to collect everything Zelda, as people do, which is why, you know, look how much a card for the NES that's complete in-box sealed sells for, if it's not all some type of big hoax. And number 2, Mario Maker. For a long time, this was the reason to buy a Wii U. To be able to create any Mario level in Mario 1, 3, 4, or the new Super Mario Bros. Layout, excluding curved mountains for some reason. I don't know why they just couldn't get that to work. Also, you could actually use the stylus. Making levels was really easy on the Wii U, unlike the Nintendo Switch. I bought this game about 3 times over for $60 a piece. It came in a fairly large size box with some hints and tells you lots of cool stuff about it. I thought it might go to extreme levels, maybe $100 or more, but no, you can just pick up a copy now for about $40, and it is a steal for that price. So if I were you, I would pick it up along with a Wii U if you didn't already do that. But what I probably should have told you about was Project Zero, also known as Fatal Frame, Maiden of the Black Water. Now, this was one of the reasons I actually bought my Wii U, because I was super psyched for this entire series. I even have a fan-translated Fatal Frame 4 on my Nintendo Wii, because I love this series so darn much. It's really creepy with the atmosphere, and I like using the tablet to take pictures of the ghosts and making them explode all over the place. Now, it was digital only here in America, which is why I say Project Zero. Now, why would you want to buy a European PAL game on a region-locked system? Well, thankfully, you can mod the system to play the PAL territory games, or you could just buy it for the awesome giant steel box it came in with all of the little goodies. If you were smart enough to do so, you probably picked it up for $100, and I was always waiting for it to come down in price just a little bit, but sorry, it just kept on climbing, and now it is over $400, and I think it's still not done climbing. It's gonna go through the stinking roof, especially when Fatal Frame 6 comes out. Number 1, Hello Kitty Cruisers. This is like a 50cc Mario Kart game set in the Hello Kitty universe. It's really easy for even kids to play. They could probably come in first place every time. It was a $70 game. I thought Hello Kitty collectors would snap them up as fast as they could. So it could have went up to $200. Instead, it stuck lowly at $65. Still, the reason why it holds its value is because people perceive this to be a rare game on the console, even though Gianna Sisters was far fewer prints. So how come that one didn't go up? And people just like to play this piece of garbage. Now, what I definitely should have told you guys about, and in the comments you did tell me that it would skyrocket, was Devil's Third, an action firing, killing everything type of game. Even full of glitches, like this M16 that just keeps on firing with unlimited ammo. It's really distracting to play like this. The game does get better as you play, and my god, the over-the-top characters are hilarious. Now, your guy doesn't even wear a shirt, let alone a bulletproof vest. This is insane. $60 is what I paid for the game at launch, and now it sells for over $250 because it's like a joke to have in your collection, which is why it's the number 1 game you should have bought, even though everyone knew it at the time. And now it's not my opinion. It's an absolute fact. So, I'll see you later, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it. I don't know why some of my predictions didn't come through, but that's why I pick up every game I can if it's at a reasonable price for the system that I love to collect for, which means I was right in picking up all these other copies of all these games at the time that they were relatively cheap, other than, you know, Clabella's and Rapella's Fishing. For some reason, they just kind of went right past me. So, what other games and game systems should I talk about in the future? And what should I do to combat these super high prices on video games? Is there anything I could do? Well, just keep in mind, I'm trying to work on something for you guys to help set things straight. So until later, I will see you again, guys.